The second strand is emotional process fidelity. The icon for this strand is based on a metaphor that I've shared with families. Here's the metaphor. Our bodies are like cups, and we all know when our cups are full. We've had it up to here. We feel icky inside and we need to take a break, move our bodies, feel something soft, have some tea, or connect with people as a way of emptying our cups and feeling better. We understand that when people talk about difficult experiences, our body may release stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones are designed to make us move, to fight or flee, but they can also make us feel dysregulated and out of sorts. Now, children have smaller bodies, so it makes sense that their cups, their bodies may fill up really fast when we talk about difficult things. Young children are also very wise. They may even be wiser than we are. They know that when we feel this way, we need to stop, switch, and do something different. This is emotional process fidelity, and it's a very important concept for us to hold. Because when we're trying to help young children heal from traumatic experiences, sometimes we or their parents get really invested in having them talk about these experiences. We need to remember that our primary goals are to support meaning-making and development, and a core aspect of development is the ability to tolerate difficult emotions. We help children learn that they can talk about their experiences, and that when they have difficult feelings, their caregivers will support them. They can have painful feelings without getting stuck in those feelings. This is very important learning for children who've been through traumatic experiences. And as we do this with them, we're helping children grow a bigger cup, so that in the future, they'll be better able to tolerate and deal with feelings of anger, frustration, fear, and sadness. Let's think about how the concept of emotional process fidelity shows up in treatment. A young child who's playing with dolls takes the dolls and has each of them hit each other. Wham, wham, wham. Then the child whispers, "Daddy hit Mommy." You and the parent may lean in and acknowledge that Daddy did hit Mommy, and it was scary. All of a sudden, we may see a shift in the child's behavior. Some children may want to cook or draw, others curl up in their mother's lap, and others may want to run around frantically or play ball. If we think about it, these are all really great ways to deal with stress hormones that are in their body, swirling around. When we understand that the child's cup got full and they need to do something that helps them get the icky out, we appreciate how wise they are. Their bodies know that they need to take a break. It isn't therapeutic if they feel overwhelmed and are spilling over. We also understand that we may want to leave the toys out and not clean them up, because as the child's body feels more integrated, the child may return to the toys and continue playing out this important story. Another visual that may help us to understand the concept of emotional process fidelity is this temperature gauge. We can think of this as the individual's window of tolerance. Talking about or playing about an experience is not therapeutic if an adult or child feels overwhelmed while sharing their history. As therapists, we need to be aware of when people are going into the orange or red zone, when they're flooding. And we also need to be aware of when they're going into the blue zone and numbing or freezing. When they're not in a good emotional space, our goal is to tolerate and respond supportively to their strong emotions and to serve as a regulatory partner to help them return to the green zone. We want them to be able to share their experiences in a way that feels safe enough to be therapeutic. Supervisors help therapists consider and attune to the emotional states and responses of all the different family members who are in treatment. They help the therapist think about how they understand and tolerate strong negative emotions, and how they understand the different ways that family members may respond when they have these feelings. They think with therapists about ways that they can support co-regulation between the caregiver and the child. They might think about how the therapist could intervene earlier so that people don't get overly dysregulated. and they might support the therapist in learning emotion regulation techniques and intervention strategies. The concept of emotional process fidelity applies not only to children, but also to adults. Many have their own challenging histories, which are bubbling up, and they're dealing with all the feelings that come up for a parent when their child has been through a traumatic experience. While some caregivers may benefit from a referral to individual therapy, collateral sessions in CPP are very different. During these collateral sessions, we're able to slow down and attune to the caregiver's emotional reactions and think about what's happening in sessions with their child. We believe that by supporting the parent in growing their cup, their capacity to sit with these difficult feelings, the parent in turn will be able to offer this type of restorative experience to their children. So to summarize, our emotional process fidelity stance is I can understand, support, and respond to your strong emotions. We understand that when people have been through traumatic experience, it makes sense that they're angry, sad, or scared. But of course, we don't want them to be stuck in these feelings. But before we help people cope with their feelings or socialize children's emotional responses, we start by acknowledging and honoring their feelings. Remember, we balance acceptance with change. Core principles connected to this fidelity strand are that neurobiological regulation is central to processing and making meaning. Growing a bigger cup, meaning growing their capacity to tolerate and deal with difficult feelings like frustration, anger, and sadness, is a key part of returning to a healthier developmental trajectory.